Hey everybody, it's Bruce of Nature Calls. I'm out doing some practice setups with the MSR Elixir 1 person backpacking tent, and this is in their, say, economical line. You're going to get all the MSR quality of construction and their choice of materials, which is going to be top-notch for an affordable price. And you've got a very roomy 1-person tent with a big vestibule. It's just they haven't done things like the carbon poles. They aren't doing the lightweight sil nylons, sil polys. They do have sil poly, but it's like a 68. I think it's a 68 denier fabric as opposed to a 20 denier fabric or a 30 denier fabric for the rainfly, 70 denier for the floor, but it still has the same waterproofness just because of its coatings. But this tent, if you take care of it, very roomy. So if you're a single tent user, this thing is not that small. And I had an MSR Hubba that was over 30 years old. I mean, these are great, great tents. So let's do a setup on it and show you how we put it all together. So the MSR Elixir 1, and most people want to know how big it is. Most tent manufacturers, in fact, I've never met very many at all that don't do somewhere between, say, 18 and 20 inches long as far as length. This looks like it could be a good 19, maybe 19 and a half. When you squish it all the way down, it gets pretty small. Maybe, if you really squished it down, probably 2 Nalgene bottles long and in diameter. You could always take the poles out and put those in your side pack. And this here is a heavier, it's like a 68 denier kind of taffeta type of fabric. At this price point, you're going to get, the still from MSR, it's still high quality materials. They test everything, but it all comes down to cost. And if you're looking for a single backpack, you'll still get all the great construction techniques, but things like the fabric will be a little bit, not less, just less expensive, of course, to buy, but not as lightweight. But they still treat it with polyurethane. It still ripstop where it needs to be. This is so if you're in that budget, but you want an MSR quality, and you're looking at something, I guess this weighs like 4 pounds, 12 ounces all in. You can get that down a pound if you get rid of the bag and the stakes and things like that and lines, but no one would really do that. But for a solo tent, this one's very livable. So let's go ahead and set it up. All the MSR tents come with a footprint. And I'm not a big footprint person, but if you're going to be, say, setting up on rocks or gravel beaches, and that there's going to be a lot more abrasion, and you're willing to take a few more ounces, this weighs probably a good 3-4 ounces. Now it's up to you. So I'm not going to put it up today, but it does come with a real nice footprint. It's not a lightweight fabric, but it's looks very durable. Okay, it comes with these kind of basic aluminum shepherd hooks. I like the diameter. I mean, these are usually like the less expensive thing, but knowing MSR, they will put good quality stuff in. Those are definitely a thicker diameter than what I've seen, so I've got a lot more confidence in those. But you can always replace those with, say, the MSR Groundhog, which is probably the best out there. So go ahead and stake this out. I always recommend staking it out if you can, especially if it's windy. You're going to want to stake it out. And with the Elixir, you're going to get the aluminum poles. I don't know who the manufacturer on it is, but these look like a 6 millimeter. They do have indications of where they go. Make sure you take a lot of care when you're putting these together. Because aluminum, even though it's strong, it's very strong, it will bend, which is, most tent manufacturers do use aluminum poles, so there's nothing wrong with that. You make sure each one of these is set into each other properly. So if something, like when things break, it's usually the poles. And the poles break, and then you've got a sharp pole that's going to stick through your tent. So definitely make sure these are all connected together. This is red grommet, so that's a red grommet. Over here is a silver grommet. They don't really say much, but they have a silver pole. So we'll put that in the red grommet. We'll put this one over in the silver grommet. Same thing on this one. So we got a little cross going on there. That one in the red. This one in the silver. They've got this cross pole. And there's little grommets on the top here. We'll go over. Put it in that grommet side. Grab this grommet. Put it there. Now we'll just go around and clip it all on. I'm gonna shove it over a little bit. Sure it'll all even out. These are real nice clips. You can use those with your gloves on or off. Go to the outside pole. They were essentially done. That just took a few seconds. Easy, easy. Here is the little walk around. What's really nice, see how this top part kind of sticks out? I just love that design. I mean, it just helps in keeping the rainfly and the rain from getting in. A lot of tents just go in. Definitely use a lot of the fabric for privacy, but love all the rest of the mesh. Keep it nice and ventilated. And we got the nice big D-style doors, which are, you know, if you're putting your gear in and putting in your sleeping bag or you're packing up, having these big D doors are really nice. It just makes everything a lot easier. Sure, there's a lot of lighter weight ways of going, but it's just such a nice convenience. We'll get that out. Now I'm 6 feet tall. I'm kind of average, and I'm sitting straight up. My head is just hitting the top. It's not bad at all. See how long we've got it. So about 83 and a half inches long. And I think they said it was 30 inches wide, which is great. Yeah, so 30 inches wide, and it doesn't taper. And I think that's just so smart to do. A lot of tent manufacturers, they try and save just those little tiny grams, and they'll make it wider or they'll make it narrower or taper it. So you just don't have a lot of the options. And it's just, I mean, the amount you're saving is so little that really nice. Yeah. I'd say if you're, like I'm 6 feet, I'd say up to 6'4", you'd be just fine. But even if you're taller than that with the rainfly on and just pushing out the sides, we've done that too. And that's really not that big a deal. Because this will push out a little bit, you know, so I'd say probably up to 6'4", you're pretty safe. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at the inside. So at each end, you've got a nice little pocket. You know, that'll be for, you know, headlamp or a cell phone, first aid kit. And up here, you've got some gear loft pockets. You know, that's where you can put your light, you know, give yourself some nice light in here. It's just a real roomy tent. It's really nice, and I know my wife likes it. So all this fabric, it could have been mesh for sure, but I know a lot of the girls that I backpack with, they like to have some way to have some privacy, even if the rainfly is not on. You might lose a little bit of ventilation, but they've got great ventilation all the way through the top. Even that where you can put more gear loft, or if you want to put some string to dry things. But you know, the weight difference between this nylon and that is not that big. So if you're looking to have some privacy, this is a great tent for that. Get the rainfly. You'll see they have like a light MSR. On the inside, it's dark. You want the lighter version. Find your door, your vestibule. It's right there. Pass the rest of that over. You'll line up the seams with the poles. Very nice. We'll pull this up, and there should be a grommet underneath here. There's the little grommet. So you take that, put that over your crossbar grommet. Now we'll go hook it up to each corner. The vestibule has 2 spots, which is an awesome design, actually. I'll show you in a minute why. Now this is the opposite wall, opposite the vestibule. Now if I didn't do that, there's the tent. We guy this out, and you get all that great rain protection too, but you get all that airflow going in there. So it's maximizing. And again, guy it out. But yeah, definitely do that one for sure. Got some nice ventilation, got a little kickstand. Pull that out. You do have a place to tie it out there, plus another guy outline there. I always suggest guying out everything you can. See how it's higher up here? So you have that airflow ventilation all around the tent. And all tents have condensation, but you need to make sure that you're getting everything as optimized for airflow, the better. So kick out your thing there. You've got some guy lines to hold that out. I'll show you the one in the back. You'll get that airflow. Now, the last touch is pull down the fabric, tighten that down. We still have that nice airflow. Go around and tighten all these down. So you get a nice, tents are designed to work as a unit. So the fabric and the poles and everything is working together to keep it nice and rigid and good in winds. So don't not do something. Tie out your guy lines. Do everything you can to make a nice sturdy tent. If you miss getting all this tension down there, the tent could fail. So don't do that. Tents are designed to be held down on the ground, basically. They aren't necessarily, you're not going to get that lateral stuff, but if you do all the guy wires and you do all your staking, and that downward force is how they're designed. They're not designed to have lines going up to trees or anything like that. Here we can see their construction technique is just beautiful. I mean, they just do, all these techniques they help keep your tent more and more waterproof, and the threads and the stitch length and all that all helps out. Then like right in here, see how that kind of comes back? It's a little rain gutter. That's just a simple, adds a little bit of weight, but what a nice design. We've got some different phases. So we can bring the door, more Velcro. We can do this first phase door roll back. You can roll it either way. Roll it in if it's going to rain, but if it's going to rain, you're going to have this all the way down. So here we get this huge, massive area that's actually bigger than what you see in most two-person tents. It's like 12 square feet. If it's crappy weather, that's a lot of room. You can fit 2 backpacks in here. And you're not going to be putting full backpacks necessarily here. Eventually, your backpack's going to be empty. You're going to have your sleeping bag and all that kind of stuff. The only thing you're going to have extras, like first aid kit, water purification, cook kit, and your food. Cook kit and your food and all that stuff can go up in a bear bag. So all you really have is maybe some shoes and an empty backpack in here. But this is a heck of a lot of room. There's a lot of room in here to change, but man, this is a lot of room to, say, tie your shoes and stuff. This is actually fantastic. Let's roll this back a little bit more. Take this stake out. We'll just keep rolling her back. Nice design for a single person tent. Still got plenty of room for your backpack. Now, if you think it might rain, it might not, you want more ventilation, definitely have it in this situation, this configuration. Just great. That's as much room as you normally would have. Fantastic. You don't have another one to roll back, but I'm sure you could figure something out. All right, so there's the MSR Elixir 1, their budget line, or their something. If you want this level of quality for as good a price as you can get it, the Elixir line is great. Sure, it's going to be a little bit heavier, but it's going to, if you take care of it, it'll take care of you. It's got great interior and livability design to it. And it's still top quality MSR stuff. So very cool design. I love it a lot. I love the vestibule. Love how they're catenary cuts, getting the flow, the little kickouts for ventilation. On the inside, you had more fabric instead of mesh. So if you want privacy, great tent for that. So, okay, thanks a lot. See you on the trail. Bye.